What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's time for the weekly rotation, and we are loaded down with mass appealing fragrances this week. I mean, straight up crowd pleasers from start to finish. Fresh, fruity, enjoyable, a controversial new release, a phenomenal, highly versatile new release, some stuff I haven't reached for in a really long time, some classics. I mean, we got, like I said, crowd pleasers galore in week number 245 of my weekly rotation. So let's dive into them. Stay tuned. Starting on Sunday, this is one from Dumont that very much reminds me of Puro from Zaharoff, but I don't know how many of you get that kind of fructis shampoo conditioner kind of vibe from Puro and a lot of other fragrances that smell similar to it. I always have. It doesn't bother me, but I find it gives it that little bit of a feminine feel to it. Whereas with Dumont's Ambre Rouge #1, I don't find it has any of that in it, but it is a warm, ambery, fruity, sweet, similar style. I would call it, 95% accurate. It's very, very close. Man, such a good smell. If you like Puro, you're going to like this. Phenomenal sillage, too. I actually got a compliment from the lady at Subway when I was getting my wife a sandwich. And, yeah, this was like halfway through the day of me wearing it. And she let me know that she could smell me as soon as she had made the corner coming out of the back. And so the sillage was definitely rolling on this one. This is some really, really good performance. The quality here is pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and say it's on Zaharoff's level, but not too far off here. It doesn't come across highly synthetic or anything like that. It smells absolutely stunning. It's definitely one that's worth checking out if you're looking to try some stuff from Dumont. During the day, Ambre Rouge #1. And then when I got the shower, it was time for a good shave, and I busted out Zaharoff Signature Rosé shave set, and of course a few sprays of the fragrance. Big hit in this household: incense, rose, some sweet, a little bit of a sugared sweetness. It never gets old. The oud here just gives this kind of warm wood smell to it. It's a little ambery. Main thing here is incense, variety of roses. It is a masculine fragrance overall, but it is perfectly unisex at the same time because it is based on rose. My wife has her own bottle. It's sweeter on her, smokier on me. Different skin chemistries are going to bring different elements of the fragrance out, and that's the case with me. I get great performance out of this as well. This is one of my favorite fragrances, so it's always great to wear it. Out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Moving into Mondays, that highly versatile new release I was talking about. I just put out a full review on this. This is one of my favorite releases of the year. This is Mancera Amberful. So I find this to be kind of a cross, like a cousin to two different profiles. A cousin to the Tigar, L'Immensité, like that type of profile. Kajal 3. Maybe not so much Vibrato. Vibrato's a bit more on the fruity side. And then Ganymede. Now, it doesn't have the metallic feel, but it has a lot of the green elements. You have a dry, woody facet to this one. It's yuzu versus the grapefruit that you get in the Tigar profile. Again, I think it's a cousin to both profiles. Like, I get elements of both without being the same as either. So, again, it's kind of like, not really a hybrid. Like, it's hard to really describe what I mean exactly, because again, it doesn't smell like either, but it reminds me of both. Oh, and it creates something really, really good. And look, I wasn't blown away the first time I smelled it, but when I started wearing it, it really captivated me. My wife's a big fan of this one. Yeah, I think you could wear this for anything. I think warm weather does totally fine, and it's still got some depth and density. Cooler weather, it's going to do really well. I haven't worn it in cool weather yet. I just recently got it, but I can see it doing really well. Performance on this is really good without being an overwhelming, obnoxious, overpowering fragrance, but very present. Like I said, performs really well, as most Manceras do. This is absolutely one that I think everybody should give a shot. Pierre Montal put out something really good here. During the day, Mancera Amberful. And when I got the shower, a classic profile that you can't go wrong with. This is Mugler Cologne come together. Just the new bottle, new formulation of the original Terry Mugler Cologne, which I have the old version, and it is identical. It is identical. The only difference is the citrus in the top of my old vintage bottle is a little spoiled, just a little bit. So you're not going to get that here because this is a fresh bottle. But I mean, it's literally like 1 minute into it, it dries into some beautiful fresh green petitgrain and everything. So like that bottle's still good. No, fragrances don't only last 3 years for anybody. I get asked that all the time. No, the fragrance I'm talking about with the slightly spoiled citrus at the top for about 1 minute to 2 minutes is an '03 bottle, 2003. So it's a 21-year-old bottle. It's fine. It's totally fine. I bought this just to see because I was buying some other fragrances. I was like, let's see how close it actually is. It was cheap. It was like $58. It was not crazy expensive. I figured, why not? God, it's so good. It is so good. I forgot how refreshing the top note is in the initial spray because, again, the top note's a little different on my older bottle. But, yeah, if you get an opportunity to try this. Does it smell like Creed Original Vetiver? Very much. This is kind of like how I view most clones. It's good enough. Is it as good as Creed Original Vetiver? No, I don't think it is. Just like clones versus the original, like when they're cloning niche fragrances. Is it as good as the original? No, but it's good enough. So the biggest difference I notice is that kind of upscale, slightly earthy vetiver note that you get in original vetiver. You don't really get here. This is more about the freshness overall, but a very close representation and a bargain at the price. I think this is a phenomenal everyday clean fragrance. One of the best soapy clean fragrances money can buy. Out the shower, Mugler Cologne come together. Moving into Tuesday, the highly controversial fragrance, water-based release perfumed by Francis Kirkjohn, Sauvage Eau Forte. I like it. I did a full review on it. It's getting a lot of flack. It's getting a lot of love. It's getting a lot of, and I'm not sure how I feel. It's kind of all over the place. I quite enjoy it. It's fresh and spicy, musky, dries into this slightly piney green, coniferous, earthy, spiced musk. The LME has to be what's giving it this kind of pine coney, coniferous green feel. I don't see any other notes in the official note breakdown that would cause that outside of the LME. Because it's not like a creamy resin. And the star anise definitely gives this slight spiced licorice kind of thing going in the dry. Now, again, I like it. To me, it kind of relates to if you strip the sweetness and the ambroxan out of Sauvage Eau de Parfum. I feel like you get a really close representation to what that would be in this fragrance. Obviously, this is water-based as well. That's a big difference as well. I like it. Get out and sample it. Try it on skin. Yes, it's going to have like a little white globby kind of situation going when you first spray it that dissipates within 1 minute tops. It evaporates into just a sheen, a puddle of, fragrance oil. It is a parfum concentration. Just try it for yourself. Do not let the internet, including me, sway you one way or another. Get out and try this for yourself. You have no idea. You might like it. You might hate it. But if you don't get it on skin, you won't know, because this, I actually think, is a solid release. Do I think it's one of the best releases of the year? No. Is it the best version of Sauvage? Absolutely not. No. But I do think it's a nice, daring change of pace that I'm here for. I'm glad I got a bottle. I'll continue to wear it during the day. Sauvage Eau Forte. When I got out the shower, we went mega fresh. Polo Ultra Blue. I just did a Ralph Lauren ranking video. I was like, I haven't wore this in a while. I actually wore it 2 nights in a row, the next night as well. So bright and fresh out the shower. You have some mineral notes here and very bright Citrine. A little bit of that Polo Blue DNA is present. Man, such an underappreciated fragrance in the Polo Blue line. If you want the freshest of the bunch, this is the one. Great for outdoor events too, because this does well in the heat. Out the shower, Polo Ultra Blue. Moving into Wednesday, we've got the newest release from Sphinx. This is called Emerald Mirage. So Emerald Mirage is banana and tropical fruits. Now this banana note doesn't hang for long. It is a very believable, realistic, just freshly peeled banana. Like when you first peel the banana, that smell. That's what you get. And it doesn't stay for a really long time. I would say after about 20 minutes or so, it starts to subside a bit and becomes more about the citruses, the fruits. I do get a little bit of the strawberry, but plenty of the passion fruit. It's just a beautiful fruit citrus medley in the top. A little bit of rose starts to come in with some musk as it dries down. It's kind of a 2-stage fragrance. It doesn't rapidly change. It's just a really good offering from them. I don't think it's their best release in the last handful or so, but it's definitely one of their best releases. I got to give them that. They now have 19 fragrances at the recording of this, and I would definitely put this somewhere in like the top 7. I'm still torn between if I would put it around 6 or 7. Doesn't quite crack my top 5 personally, but I do think it's a damn good one that you should sample. You can build a discovery set and pick 9 samples from their website. You can literally go to the discovery set and check box which ones you want and build a set of 9. And this is definitely one of those 9 that I would recommend checking out. I believe it's 9 that you get. Just a really good offering from them. I would encourage sampling it. It's not, if the banana note seems a little odd to you and maybe you're skeptical, give it a shot if it interests you, because you'll be surprised. It's not as dominant as you might think it would be, and it doesn't make it super creamy either. During the day, Sphinx newest release, Emerald Mirage. It's actually a really nice tropical fragrance. Now we got the shower. We went back-to-back nights. Polo Ultra Blue. Nothing else to add beyond what I said in the previous segment, so we'll just keep it moving. Moving into Thursday, I was really enjoying this one. I had been doing some test sprays. I just did a full wearing, so I went back to the well with Sauvage Eau Forte. I'm enjoying this one. Is it going to be something I gravitate to every single week? Probably not. There's only one fragrance in particular that seems to be a repetitive feature in my weekly rotation. But I am digging this one. I think in a professional setting, this is a phenomenal option for those that don't want the Ambroxan side of what Sauvage offers, but maybe some of the fougere-ish appeal of it. This does smell more like a classic fougere. Having that slight coniferous green element kind of ties it into more classic style fougères and takes some of that modern synthetic feel away by pulling the sweetness and not having the Ambroxan. I'm a fan. Nothing more to add that I didn't speak on already, but during the day, Sauvage Eau Forte. And when I got the shower, a big departure from something like that. This is very synthetic. This is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Cologne. I just did my Paco Rabanne ranking video. I wore 2 sprays during the day to the gym, and I had said I was going to wear it as a refresher later, but I was just in the mood to roll with Sauvage Eau Forte again, and so I went with that. And then when I got out the shower later that evening, I was like, yeah, let me throw this back on. So the way I've always kind of looked at this one, very similar profile to Invictus Acqua with a synthetic, dry, dusty-like rose note. I've heard people call it cat piss and bug spray, and you'll see all that kind of stuff on the internet. I don't know how easy it is to get anymore. I got this a few years back. It's not something I wear all the time, but I definitely think it's better than most people have ever given it credit to be. If you get an opportunity to try it, might be worth checking out for you. Out the shower, 1 Million Cologne. Moving into Friday, I wore it during the day. I wore it out the shower that evening. The one repetitive thing for over 2 months in this weekly rotation at this point, Zaharoff Signature Seraphim Blue. I just love wearing this fragrance. I don't know what else to tell you. The juice level continues to go down, down, down. I just feel like it was created for me. That's why I can't stop wearing it. I never get tired of it. I never want to shelve it and move on from it. At some point, I always end up wanting to spray it. I just really, really enjoy this profile. I would encourage you, sample it, give it a shot, try it out, see if it's for you. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. It's definitely for me, though. Wintergreen Fresh. The apple note gives it a little bit of a crisp at the top without having a fruity apple smell. It's based around some eucalyptus, so you get this minty freshness with some other greens like cypress and aromatics like lavender. A little bit of a powdery iris heart. I don't get much coconut here. Others have said they get a lot of coconut. I get a little bit of creaminess from the coconut. There's a salty sea breeze kind of feel from the sea notes accord and the red seaweed that's in the base. Some clean musk. It's just a beautiful, elegant blue with some wintergreen fresh elements at the top. I just love this fragrance during the day, out the shower. Signature Seraphim Blue. And finally on Saturday. So I don't know what made me in the mood for this. I had kind of a long day. And I got to my scent of the day later in the day. Had to go to Walmart, run some errands and everything. And I was in the mood. I went with the original Acqua de Jo. The actual greatest men's cologne, as I dubbed it, my scent of the day, of all time. Now, why do I say that? More bottles sold, more people wear it than anything else ever. I believe his name, AJ, on Instagram. Shout outs to him. He was determined, boy, in that post. He was like, Creed Aventus is way better. Okay, but I'm talking about, sales. You're like, oh, well, that's much more expensive. So yeah, naturally, more people are going to have this. So you're missing the point here. And he kept on, like people started talking. He's like, Creed Aventus better than Acqua di Gio, and I was like, man, you are relentless with some laughing emojis. I'm not hating on him. He had me cracking up. It's like, you're relentless. I said, I like Creed Aventus more too. Yeah, I like Creed Aventus more than this. I was just talking about the facts. You know, it is the number one selling fragrance of all time. And it'll never be passed by Creed Aventus because most people, like he mentioned, the price, most people aren't going to buy it because of the price point, if nothing else. So, yeah, I get that. But he just had me cracking up. So shout outs to you, AJ, if you happen to see this. He was relentless. He was determined. That man loves him some Creed Aventus, I got to say. But I agree. I like Creed Aventus more than this, too. Not my wife. My wife likes this more than Creed Aventus. As soon as I walked out, she said, ooh, you're wearing the Armani fragrance. I said, yeah, I sure am. So I like that one. I said, I knew you liked this one, baby. So, and that's the thing. That's why they've sold so many bottles and so many people wear it. That exact example that I just gave you. How many times have you walked out with Creed Aventus on and your old lady said, ooh, you're wearing a Aventus. I like that one. Not too often, right? It happens. There are women that enjoy Creed Aventus, but there's way more that like the smell of this. And this is about to be 30 years old in less than 2 years. This is going to be a 30-year-old fragrance. That's crazy to think, right? 30 years. Still works. I do like all of the flankers better. I do like Creed Aventus better. But when in doubt, you can rock this. It smells great. It smells great. Citrus, aquatic, musky, a little green. Somebody freaked out when I said green. Green, there ain't no green. You tripping. Yes, there's plenty of green in here. Beautiful fragrance. Beautiful fragrance, and I love that the flankers always tie to this DNA. You can always find this profile in all of the flankers. During the day, the real GOAT, Acqua di Gio. And then when I got out the shower, it's time for a shave again. This time I went with Zaharoff Signature Citrine, but instead of spraying the fragrance, I went with the grooming balm, which we'll just call the body balm. So why this and not spraying the fragrance? This stuff's strong. George had Claude rework the oil to bring the heart and the base out more over the top note that you'll find in the fragrance and the aftershave splash. And this stuff is strong, and a little goes a long way. I literally just dip my finger in it, and I can cover my entire collarbone and one side, collarbone, shoulder, chest area with just dipping my middle finger in it a little bit and then doing the other side, and just covers that. This stuff it's gonna last a long ass time, and it's strong. The petitgrain, the green, this green smell, fresh green comes to life, and then with having used the shave soap, which brings the base out, the top coming from the splash. My God, what a great smelling experience this was and always is. It's incredible. It really is. This is some good stuff. You can get this on the website. I would encourage. This is discontinued, but you can get this on the website. I would highly encourage this. It's really good for the skin, and it smells incredible. Last night, which was Saturday night, out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Citrine. That was this week's rotation, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What'd you guys wear this week? Let me know down below. I'm always curious. See what you guys have been rocking and spraying and all that good stuff. A lot of crowd pleasers here. I think the only one that could be argued that kind of isn't would be the new Sauvage, because it depends on how you feel, but I think so. My wife quite enjoys it. Maybe not as much as she enjoys Acqua di Gio. But then again, there's not too many she enjoys more than Acqua di Gio, but there are some. Fierce DNA, Silver Mountain Water DNA, and Acqua di Gio. That's probably her 3 favorites, honestly. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.